Hello everyone and welcome to Hey everyone and welcome to the first ever City Winery adult cooking class, and we're going to call it Chop and Dice. My name's Adam Smart. I'm one of the chefs here at City Winery, and today I'll be cooking with Chris Cush, who is one of the winemakers here at City Winery and also responsible for all the beautiful artwork on our wine bottles.
Thank you.
No worries. So today we are going to be making ricotta dumplings, but traditionally they're called gnocchi, which is an Italian recipe, and we're going to be doing a sauce with it as well, with pancetta, some red onions, a bit of baby squash and some zucchini. And first off, we're going to start by making the dough. So we're going to get the bowl out. So you're going to need your ingredients that I put in the bag for you guys, which is some flour, a bit of parmesan and some ricotta. I have the parmesan mixed in with the ricotta, so don't be alarmed if you don't see any parmesan. And we're going to need a few eggs as well. So you're going to need 3 eggs. And what you're going to do is we're going to separate the eggs from the yolk. So I'm going to teach you how to do that first. And I'm going to show Chris as well here too how to do some. Where are my little bowls? So, shit, my mic. Just dropping mic. Sound check. We're all good? Awesome. Okay, so first off, you want to crack your egg on a flat surface. Never crack it on the edge of something, which I always see people do, because if you do that, you can end up with little bits of shell. So you want to go on a flat surface, so barely any shell breakage there. And I'm just going to crack it open, and I'm going to juggle it. So I'm juggling the yolk in between each shell and just getting rid of the white. And if you want to keep the whites, you can. So you can freeze them down or keep them fresh, and they're great for meringues, whatever. But it's never good to keep meringues if you've broken a bit of yolk and it's seeped into the meringue. So don't keep it if you've done that.
Why is that?
The yolk goes off a lot quicker than the whites.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good point to take. So we want 3 yolks. Do you want to have a go, Chris?
Yeah.
I'll chuck you an egg.
Sure.
So, yeah.
How many do we want?
So we need three egg yolks in total.
Okay. Alrighty.
Awesome, that's it. Juggle that. Perfect juggling.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so first we're going to add the flour into the bowl.
What sort of flour is it?
So this is Tipo flour, so 00 flour. So good for pastas and good for getting worked a lot to create more gluten. So I've already seasoned your flour that I've given you, and what I've seasoned it with is a little bit of fresh ground nutmeg. I've got some cracked pepper, and I've got a good whack of salt as well, because it's good to salt your flour, so you've got a little bit of salt in those dumplings, you know, like instead of just getting...
relying on the sauce being too salty.
That's right, yeah. So you get a bit of the bite of the dumpling, and you can taste some salt in there as well. Yeah, so we're going to make a mound. So just like a little well, and then we're going to make a little spot there for the yolks, okay? So we're going to tip the yolks in. And then we're going to work that into the dough. And at the same time, we're going to try and incorporate some of the cheese. So, Chris, do you want to have a go at that?
Yeah.
And as
I do.
So just one hand? Yeah, just give it a little whisk.
Whisk.
Like that. So she's just given the egg yolks a little whisk with her fingers, and then we're incorporating the dough into that as well. And I'm going to start sprinkling cheese over it as she's doing that. So I just got the parmesan cheese in there first. And you can knock in some of the flour from the outside. Yeah, that's it. And this ricotta, it's quite wet, so it's going to act just like the yolks and incorporate the dough to make us one
Is ricotta a normal thing in dumplings?
No, not at all. So gnocchi is usually potato. They call this ricotta dumplings, but it translates to ricotta gnocchi. But it's just another substitute to help bind all the flour together. And it's quite amazing because it's cheese, you know, and you can add whatever cheese you want. It doesn't have to be Parmesan cheese as the extra. It can be something a bit more intense, you know, if you want. It can be blue cheese. It can be whatever you want. Yeah. So
or pecorino.
Yeah, pecorino.
I love pecorino.
Which is a bit more of a...
It's goaty, right?
Yeah.
Or sheep cheese. Sheep cheese.
awesome.
Like
So
that?
yeah, and then let's start squishing it together like that, Chris.
All right.
So really start like working that dough.
Okay. Making it look like a dough.
Yeah,
Like,
awesome. And that's looking pretty good. Can you get that, Jay? You got that in there? Just trying to get you a nice close
Can you
up.
overdo it?
No, not at all. No.
Oh, right. So it's not like a muffin.
Yeah,
You can overdo muffin.
Yeah, or even like normal gnocchi where you can overdo it.
Can you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Oh.
100%.
What, they become too chewy or something?
Yeah, so
You
you
overdo
work
the gluten.
you work the gluten too much with the potato
Oh.
and it becomes too dense and too chewy. Yeah, that's looking great.
All right.
So I'll take
you
over for you.
take over.
So just want to knead it for a little bit longer,
Oh, yeah.
and then you just want to form it into a good ball, and then we'll let it rest for about 10, 20 minutes. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because this womb is quite.
Have you got your one you've prepared?
No, because we got other stuff to do while we wait for that.
Let me just
Let me just pull out what I prepared earlier. No, we're not that ready over here. So this can sit out. You don't need to put it in the fridge.
Feel it.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
it feels nice.
Yeah, it does
feels
feel
quite
nice.
wet.
Yeah. It's like a Play-Doh
Yeah,
consistency.
yeah, perfect explanation. So it's not like a bread
a
dough.
mum, see?
It's not like a bread dough at all, where it just sticks to your fingers. It is actually quite durable, and it bounces off your hands. So
Yeah.
so let's have a look at this dough. Jay, do you want to come close and have a look at this dough? So there's our dough. We've got a nice form ball, and we're just going to let that rest in the bowl for about 10 minutes while we get the sauce ready, because it's quite warm in here, so it all depends on the climate as well. Like, don't just work on times, it always depends on the room you're in. So the room could be quite warm, so you'd probably half it just depends on your climate, really.
So if the room's warm, you need more time or less time?
Less time.
Less time?
Yeah, less time to rest if it's a warmer room.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because often they say to rest things in the fridge.
That's more like pasta dough and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, right. So
Because we want to work this. We're going to go this now. So
Right.
in the next 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
but we will cover it though. We're not just going to leave it to rest uncovered. We've got a nice little tea towel. Where is it? I had a couple of tea towels. Can I grab that?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chris. So we're just going to cover that up with a tea towel. And we're just going to leave that for 20 or 10, you know. So while we're waiting for that, let's get started on the stuff we're going to need for our sauce.
Would you like me to chop something?
Yeah,
for
if you want, yeah.
What do you want me to do?
So-
Maybe you should chop it and tell us.
All right, yeah, I'll do the
Let's
chopping.
let's see the chef chop.
So I've sent you guys a couple of the beautiful red onions, and these are from down in Stanthorpe, from a farm that we support called Mobilia Farms. Peter and Judith, really beautiful people, and we constantly, through these dark times, are still getting their produce, and we're trying to put out produce boxes every week, which was a thing here at City Winery. So if you're interested, you know, jump on our website and have a look. But they're still pumping, and despite of what's going on in the cities, it's still they're still living life down in Stanthorpe. So we're just trying to support them as much as we can.
Well, they've
so
still got produce to pick.
yeah,
don't
they've still got
it's
stuff to
like
pick.
Vintage. You
Yeah,
know,
they
it's
have no
still-
idea
it's
that this
still
is going on. So
grapes to pick.
yeah, that's
We
it.
have a question from the viewers.
Yeah, go for it.
Or a comment. It's actually our son Joe saying, "Hi, Mum, it's Joe."
Oh, hi Joe. It's Mum.
So your son's in the audience. Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah.
They're into them, obviously, Dave.
So you got some family on board watching tonight. No pressure, Chris. Hey.
Never. Pressure? What's that?
But like, just look at this beautiful
Look at
produce.
that.
Like these are little squash that we get down from Stanthorpe as well, and this is the zucchinis and
They're beautiful.
little baby beautiful red onions. So they do amazing stuff. So we're just happy that we have people like that. So I'm just going to do a rough Asian cut for this one. So you just want to go on an angle, and you can go as slow as you want. Like that's just how I do it. Like.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing you're doing the chopping, Eds.
Yeah, so let's just get this out of the way.
Live, could you imagine? Oh, whoops, lost a finger.
So I'm just getting this out of the way, nice and quick. Bum, 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 bum. And if you feel you're missing out on anything, you can always go back and rewind it and watch it. But So we're just going to do some, because you want some heartiness in the onion when it's in the sauce. You don't want little cubes of onion just to disappear. You know, I like onion in my sauce, so I'm going to keep it quite chunky.
Okay.
Chunky.
For punky.
Chunky. So then we'll do our squash as well. And I reckon we just keep these as little bits, like as small as you can. So maybe just go like lengthways like that.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not like spongy at all.
No,
like
no,
sometimes you get them and they're really spongy.
Yeah, 100%. Like this is just direct.
They're dense and...
Yeah, well, we don't have any of that waiting time that you get when you buy stuff from the supermarket. So we get things directly from the farmer.
Yeah.
It's not going from one guy to the next guy to the other. It's coming straight to us. So it's nice and fresh, you know. So
It makes such a difference.
yeah, it makes 100%. Like
So what about
big
the
difference.
eggs? Those eggs free range from Stano, or are they
from
eggs
from
or
Watson's Farm.
Watson's Farm?
Yeah, Watson's Farm. So that's a really nice couple that we try and support here as well at City Winery, and they have a chicken farm. So they're actually a really cool story with their chickens. There's one chicken that pretty much lays double yolkers every second egg.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So they can't actually sell that egg because it's too high in protein, so they just keep it for themselves. But
That's
they have
the
a
best.
lucky double yolker egg
That's the
layer.
best, chook.
Oh man, it's the best. So imagine getting 2 yolks in your egg. That's like, it's a winner, you know?
Yeah, I used to get so excited when I found it.
Yeah.
Double yolker.
Yeah.
Oh my god, double yolker.
So I'm just chopping up some zucchini here as well. I'm keeping it nice and rough as well, just like the squash.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time for us to roll that dough soon.
Right.
Yeah. And I also have a little bit of protein for this dish. I've got a bit of house pancetta, sorry, which I've also sent to you guys. So I flavored that with a little bit of paprika, house mandarin, and some chocolate habanero that I blitzed up a few months ago.
Oh, what?
A chocolate habanero.
What's that?
So it's a habanero strain, but it's a quite a dark color.
What's a habanero?
What's a habanero? So habanero is like a super hot tropical flavored chili, I would say, and it looks quite shriveled up.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
A beautiful chili, one of my favorites, but will blow your head off.
Chocolate habanero.
If anyone out there knows
Yay.
habaneros, it knocks their head off. And you got all these other chilies coming out, like Carolina Reapers and all that
Really?
stuff, and
Yeah,
they
people
just
get into it, don't they?
they put you on the
get
toilet.
really
They put you on the toilet for days. They're not nice at all. But I don't see the. Well, they put me on the toilet. Sorry, any kids out there?
A bit of toilet humour. All
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Makes them giggle. You know,
It's
makes them giggle.
It's actually the funniest thing to do in
So here's my pancetta.
Ooh.
So we've had this in our dry ager for maybe 2 to 3 months now, and when curing meat, the fat is the only thing that doesn't really dry out. So it's only the meat. So the fat has kept its shape, and the meat in the middle of that fat has just slowly shrunk, like lost a lot of water weight, and this is what you end up with. Like, have a smell.
Oh.
Chili, paprika,
Yeah.
you know, just that
Smells
beautiful
like
pancetta.
pancetta.
Yeah, just that beautiful
Beautiful.
cured meat smell, you know. So we're just going to
So
take a
this
cup.
is part of the belly.
Yeah, so this is the
it?
belly of the pig. Yeah, yeah,
I always get confused with that. Pancetta, prosciutto.
yeah. Prosciutto
I
is
never know what
predominantly
part
the
of the
leg.
animal it's
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I know that. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, well, where does that come from? It's like, well, a pig. Oh, I thought, you know, a lot of things come from pigs, like ham and bacon. Like, yeah, it's a pretty magical animal. Yeah, produce a lot of different cuts.
It is a magical animal.
Yeah. So I've just done the pancetta into nice skinny strips like that, if you want to have a look. And we're just going to turn it into little lardons. So we just chop them into little sticks like that. So
So
that's
you
just like a little
You
lardon.
could just eat that and it's just like...
You
eating,
could, yeah. You can try that at home. It's bloody great. The fat just melts away and
Oh my god.
mm,
The
it's
fat's
chewy.
beautiful.
Oh,
Mm.
cool. So now we are ready to go with the sauce. So let's check our dough. Let's check our dough and give that a roll. Hey?
Cool.
Okay, looking pretty ready. So we'll just get rid of our prep for a second. And let's bring out the dough. So it basically just needs that time to kind of stay together and just form that gluten that you need to kind of hold a dough together. And this is perfect for like two and a half people, like, you know, 2 decent sized people and 1 little half person. So we're going to put a bit of flour down on our bench, and we're going to roll this dough out, and I'll show you, like, you can roll it out and then cut strips, or you can roll it and cut it into logs, which we can roll. But today I'm just going to show you the simplest method that we've been using here, that I find easy, and that...
I don't mean to interrupt, we just have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What are the veggies that look like baby watermelon?
Oh, they are cucamelons. Yeah, so that's just a little bit you can add into the sauce near the end. So it's like a cucumber, but in the shape of a little mini watermelon. So I just thought that'd be cute to send to you guys, and that is also from Mobilia Farms, which is quite a rare veg that you don't get in supermarkets, you know. Have a bite of one if you're interested, you know, it doesn't hurt. So yeah, go ahead. So just going to get a bit of flour down on the table. Where's my flour that I had?
Flour.
Bowls.
You want me to run and get some flour?
Here it is. Oh, got it. I'm as prepared as I can be, I reckon. Cool. So we're just going to get...
This is the XI flour as well, or you can
Yeah.
use any flour?
Any
for this
flour
bit?
if you want. Any
Okay.
flour for this bit.
Okay.
So just going to scatter a little bit of flour on the table.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I need a rolling pin.
Oh,
I didn't grab a rolling pin.
I'll go and grab it.
I need to grab a bottle of wine. Alright, if you don't have a rolling pin, just use a bottle of wine, or, you know, wherever you can find it.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Or maybe we just give it a go while Dave's going to get the rolling pin. Let's give it a go. See, that works pretty well, I reckon. What have you got here?
That's actually the Montepulciano.
Oh, beautiful. So this is the fog, isn't it?
Oh, Montepulciano.
Oh, Montepulciano.
For Italian gnocchi.
So there we go. We're rolling some gnocchi with wine. Here we go. We got a rolling pin now. We're in business. All right. So yeah, you want to get a good amount of flour on there. You don't want it to be too wet, otherwise it'll stick to the bench. Thank you, assistant.
You're welcome.
And you don't want to go too thin either, okay? So I think that is a perfect shape.
Yeah, so that's like 1/2 centimetre,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Coolio. And then we're just going to chop it up.
Okay. So you're going to get just so it's all the same size.
I'm just going to divide it. Me and you can both have a go
Okay.
at, you know, and then I can start the sauce as well. So I like to chop mine into little, like 2 by 2 centimetre squares. So, or maybe 1.5 centimetre by 1.5. You don't want it too big. So I'm just going to cut all mine, keep them to one side, and then I'll show you how to shape them.
Yeah, we get to use this.
Yeah,
little
well,
thingy.
a lot of people aren't going to have a proper gnocchi roller at home, so I also bought a fork. So we can show you both ways, you know, which is, the fork is probably the easiest way because a lot of people don't know that way, so
Yeah.
we'll show people that first, I reckon.
And those people are that fancy enough to have one of those gnocchi things. Busted out for the first time in 10 years,
Yeah.
I'd say.
And if
Been
you,
in their drawer for 10 years.
yeah, and if you got a KitchenAid as well, feel free to make your dough up in the KitchenAid. It'll save you a lot of time, and you can just whip the hell out of it, and it's not gonna do anything. So, if you got a KitchenAid, it takes a bit of the work out for you. Just use it. So, here's some of our bits. We're just gonna chop them up, and might as well chop them all, right? Or Chris,
Yeah,
I'll show you,
Okay,
and
I
you can
start
start.
rolling. Okay. Oh, I get to use the fancy machine.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Chris just to show you guys what it looks like, but I can cut that one right. So you just want a little light push, and you got a nice shape. Like quite
that's
light.
really light.
Quite light, yeah.
You're just rolling it on there.
Yeah, and you eventually get a
and
bit of
it's almost-
speed.
And actually, it's got a little pocket there that's creating that holds the sauce.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the beauty of this bit of gnocchi. So it holds the sauce in the middle there, you know. So it doesn't matter how big they are, because they'll rise to the top of the water, but you don't pull them out straight away like usual gnocchi.
Oh,
so
don't you?
yeah, I'll show you a bit later, but that's kind of the technique.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but you don't want to push too hard. You don't want to push too hard.
You might want to. Might have a few disasters between.
That's all good. It doesn't matter. So
all right.
you're like
So,
you're just trying to get the shape. You know, like it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It's all gonna cook and taste the same. So look, she's natural.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Just a soft bit of pressure. You don't want too much.
just a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I'll show you guys how to do the fork method in one sec. How you going there, Chris? Feel good?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's going. She's doing it. She's having a ball over here. It's great. I don't know if she's laughing because she's doing bad or if she's doing good.
I don't know.
But you're doing good. That looks great.
That
yeah,
looks
that's
great.
it. That's it.
Looks bloody authentic.
That's bloody it. That's it. Yeah, you're like a little Italian nonna
Little
over here.
Italian nonna.
What should we call
Here I
you?
come.
Yeah.
Call me Nonna. Nonna Chris.
Okay, Nonna Chris.
Nonna Chris.
Here comes more squares for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
But yeah.
we shouldn't attempt to do
No,
it.
no. I'm terrible at accents. So.
Not as bad as me. I am the worst. at
Okay, so they're all chopped, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the fork method, which is fork it easy. No swearing at all. That was PG joke. So if you want to get closer, Jade, so some people like to use it this end. I like to use it like that. So you can push it down slowly and roll off the fork like that.
Yeah.
But I like to just go like that and just go boom and just flick it off. See you later, you know.
See you later.
See you later, mate.
See you later, mate.
See you later, mate. There you go, mate. We're Greek now.
I don't know.
Oh, well, what are we?
It could be any country you would like to have a go.
See you later, mate. So there you go. So mine. Look at one compared to the other. They're still the same shape, but just you know.
All right,
Like Chris was saying, you know, this catches the sauce inside here as well. Catches the sauce. It's a perfect vessel for pasta. I mean, for sauce, you know.
I totally stuffed that one up.
That's all right, mate. We are live, Chris.
I'll go back to my
that's what-
fancy board.
That's why I got Chris here, so we can show you that it's not so hard. Like it's bloody easy. You don't have to be a professional chef to be able to knock out. Look at that.
Bloody beautiful.
You buy that in the packets. You know what I mean? That's bloody packet made. So while Chris is finishing
Get
these
it
off,
packet made.
I'm going to start the sauce.
Okay.
So over here, Jade, we're going to get our pan going. You better get it. Okay. Hey Dave, do you know how to use this thing? Oh, there we go. We're up and running.
I can ask him. He doesn't know anything about anything when it comes to cooking.
So we're going at about a medium high heat. Cool. So we're just going to wait for that to warm up a little bit, and we're going to start with the pancetta first, because the pancetta will leach out a lot of fat, and the fat will help cook your onions, cook your squash.
And it's delicious fat.
And it's delicious fat. Yeah.
It's not like
It's bad fat. It is bad.
It is bad.
It is bad. But you got to be bad every now and then to have a good time. You can't be good forever, you know.
If you've got heart disease, probably not the thing for you.
Yeah, if you got heart disease, maybe skip the delicious pancetta. Yep. Sorry. So just waiting for that to get warm. Let's chuck them in now.
I've got it so down.
Oh, Chris has got it now. Got enough light there?
That's my dinner.
You all right?
Can you see? Oh, switcheroo. Oh, that's better light.
There you go, switcheroo. Cool. So as you can see, just got the lardons in here. Let's turn the heat up a bit, I reckon. This thing is not as good as I thought it was.
No, I won't go crispy because we won't be cooking it for that long,
I
right?
don't want to get it crispy, no.
We're just going to melt the fat.
Yeah, so slowly you'll see the fat start to come out. If you can notice, there's a little dots around the pan. I have a nice non-stick pan here as well. But if you don't have a non-stick pan, it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't. The fat will help you loosen the pan a bit and make sure nothing sticks. So, ooh, that smells like gourmet bacon. That's bloody great. That's really good.
Anything to stir? Oh, just use a spoon.
I've got some spoons. Yeah, I had a little just over there.
Little wooden spoon.
Thank you very much. So we got a beautiful
Ooh, look at that.
aroma coming off these at the moment.
Oh,
And the
beautiful.
pan is really starting to sweat up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good amount of
Yeah.
fat in there.
You can
see
see it.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The little dots around there. So we'll just get that going for another 30 seconds.
I hope my kids are taking notes.
Well,
watching-
you know,
watching
hopefully you got
us
some
live,
dinner
yeah.
made when you get home,
Yeah.
step by step. And then as soon as we get this sauce on, we're gonna move on to blanching the gnocchi. So you've got nice bit of golden colour on this pancetta here. You got that, Jade? Looking good. Nice bit of colour. So we're gonna add the onions now. If you can toss, that's great. If you can't, just stir. It's all good. And this is smelling pretty damn good at the moment. So it's a nice simple sauce, you know, it's nothing too crazy. Oh shit, I don't have tomato sauce for this. Yeah, I need some tomato sauce. Alright, thanks. Just ask the boys for some of the gnocchi tomato sauce. And you just want to keep this going so the onions wilt a little bit. And I chose red onion just because you can eat it straight off the bat. You don't need to cook it down as long as brown onion, you know, so that's looking pretty good right now. And we're going to add a bit of our squash. Our zucchini.
Oh, it smells so good in
Yeah,
here.
really great, isn't it?
Beautiful.
You just want to keep that going. So I'm just going to chuck in a little bit of salt and pepper as well to these bad boys. Thank you very much, Chef. Should we get a little bit of white wine? Can you
I
grab
can
some?
get you some white wine. That's something I can do.
I didn't actually add that. And guys, I didn't actually add this to the things that you might need, but if you got some white wine at home, just to kind of, when the bacon starts to get a really good colour and the onions, you might want to deglaze the pan with just a touch of white wine, just to add that nice bit of flavour to the dish. So Chris is just going to grab me a little bit now, but we're just going to wait till these zucchini and squash soften up a little bit. Then we'll add a splash of white wine, and then we've got the tomato sauce which I gave you to add. And how's everyone doing? If anyone's got any questions, please chuck them on the live feed, and we're happy to answer them as we go.
Okay, there you are, Chef.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
It's all right. I brought a glass for you as well.
Okay, great.
Just in case.
Awesome. So we've got enough water there. Pretty good for water.
Enough water? That was a bit low. That's a bit lower than that one. Does that need to go up?
Actually, I have to get my ice pane. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I have an ice pane in the cold room out there. Can you get the boys to just put a little touch of water in there?
Sure.
And and grab me a jug of hot water, like really hot water.
Ice pane,
Bit of water.
bit of water, and a bit of hot water.
Thank you, Dave. Sorry about
Dave doesn't know what an ice pane is. I don't either.
that. So yeah, we're still waiting for these to get a bit soft.
Okay.
They're feeling pretty good.
Mm.
Just another 30
Oh, yeah.
seconds, I
So
reckon.
you don't want a mushy, do you?
Yeah, you don't want
Want
to
a
mush
bit
it.
of crunch.
You want the texture, yeah. The
Yeah.
texture's nice in there. So, I reckon we're going to hit it with a little bit of wine.
Yeah.
Why's my thing died?
What the hell?
There you go.
Oh,
Sick.
that'll do.
So we're going to splash the
Okay,
wine.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
It's quite a lot, really.
Yeah, I went a little bit overboard. Maybe it's only, maybe like a tablespoon more than you should, but...
Okay.
And the thing is with alcohol, you really want to cook that out just for a little bit, just to get the alcohol out of there. So,
Yeah. So
I've got-
what you'll be left with is just acid, really.
just a beautiful
acid and flavour.
verjuice. Yeah,
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
you call it, right? Verjuice.
Yeah, verjuice would be
Yeah.
a bit more acidic than a normal
Yeah.
wine.
So yeah, just cooking out that booze out of there.
Yep, yep.
And then we'll add our lovely tomato sauce.
Ooh.
I've got to stop moving it back like that because
Yeah.
I'm hitting the...
Well,
There you go.
induction's a bit like that.
Enough water.
Right, that's beautiful. Thanks, Dave. Awesome. So hold that
Alrighty.
down here. Cool. So we're nearly ready on that. It's smelling pretty good. Give a thumbs up if everyone's doing all right out there. A little thumbs up.
They're probably not keeping up with you though. That they can rewind it, can they?
Yeah, yeah. Anything else? If I'm going too fast, please let me know, and we can always turn it down for the next episode. Cool. So the wine has been reduced quite nicely in there.
Yeah. It's,
So we got our tomato sauce that I sent you guys out. So that's
Ooh.
tomatoes, onion, basil, and we're just going to add that into there. Beautiful. Thank you, Chef.
beautiful.
Just going to stir that in. Looking pretty good. And you just want to try it, guys. Always taste everything.
Can I try?
Yeah. I feel it could have a little bit more salt,
Oh.
a little bit more pepper, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so.
And it's all personal preference, you know. So I'm going to go a little hit of pepper, another whack of salt. I think that's pretty good for me, to be honest.
Ooh.
And we're going to turn that off now, and we're going to start cooking our gnocchis. So the sauce is done. If you need to go back on everything, guys, just go on YouTube.
How easy is that? That's so good.
Yeah, cool as. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Off button.
Where's the off button? There you go. And she's off. Beautiful. So some beautiful house cured speck, which I've done here myself. And I cured that with some mandarin, habanero, some paprika. We got some beautiful mobilia vegetables in there and some house-made tomato sauce. So awesome. So we've got our pot boiling here. And with the gnocchi, it takes a bit longer to cook than your regular potato gnocchi. So with potato gnocchi, it usually floats to the surface straight away, and when it floats to the surface, that's when you need to take it out because it'll just start to deteriorate. So we've got all our beautiful gnocchis over here that Chris has done. Look at that, like a pro, like a pro.
Like a real nonna.
That's bloody great. So we'll scoop these up. And
Is it boiling yet?
not yet. It's another minute, I reckon. So I'm just going to put a quick lid on there just to speed up the... Do we have any questions, Jade, online? No one's asked anything yet?
No, just when you went for the white wine, Lee was very glad that she had a bottle of Saffron.
Oh, perfect. All right, cool. So we've got a boil there.
Right.
Excellent. So, I I reckon we could just drop all this in there.
All of it?
Yeah,
So
why
you
not?
just do it all in one go?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
So make sure your water is super salty, like the ocean. You want nice salt to get into that gnocchi.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like if you're doing pasta, or if you're doing rice or anything, you know, you want the water that you're cooking the... Oh, be careful. So be careful not to just dump it into the water.
Yeah.
If you want to watch how I do it, you just kind of glide it in.
Glide
So-
it. Gliding it in.
Yeah.
I'll try and glide it.
She glid.
Not
She
so-
glid.
not
Yeah.
so glidey.
Not so glidey. But and then make sure you've got some ice and a bit of water, so that you can blanch off your gnocchis.
Oh, right. So
Yeah,
have
so-
to have a bit of... so, have a little look, like
So what we do...
water
Yeah.
and just ice.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
it.
cold water. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to
That's-
blanch them after you cook them to stop them to continue
That's
to
called
cook.
blanching, even in cold.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's not blanching.
It's a blanch, so you
It's
boil
blanching.
it and then you ice it. Yeah, to
Okay.
stop it from cooking.
Okay.
That's called a blanch, yeah. So they're starting to boil now. They're starting to come up
Alright.
to the surface.
Yeah.
But these gnocchi are a lot more dense than a potato gnocchi. So they're going to rise, but you need to let them float
Properly.
for a couple of minutes. Just to cook through the dough a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I was at home, I'd probably put a timer on.
Yeah, yeah.
And when would I put it
When
on?
you see them starting to float,
Most- like
go
now?
like a 3-minute timer. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
they
yeah.
starting now?
Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
So I'd put my timer on now, and then that would be...
Oh, 2 minutes? Let's say 2 minutes.
All right.
Connor, stop what you're doing. Go wash this out for me, brother. Can you get me a little bottle of veggie oil and some nuggets of butter, pretty please? Yeah, thanks, brother.
Well, it's smelling good.
Cool. That's looking pretty nice. So we've got our sauce over here. Little beans. And so what we're going to do with these gnocchis after we blanch them, we're gonna finish them in a pan to get them a nice crispy outside coating. So if you ever see gnocchi when they've got a nice colour on them, it's because we start them in a pan with a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
Do you want to stand a little bit?
I'm just worried it's going to boil over.
Nah, it's all right. So yeah, we start off a pan in a cold pan with oil and butter, and then you emulsify or stir it together. Sorry. So emulsify means to add two things together that don't usually go. So butter and oil. So water,
Yeah.
like the milk and
solids
oil,
in the butter.
mixing them together. Yeah. So that's emulsification.
Ah,
So when
and
you're
that's why it
making
looks like creamy. That's
Yeah.
why it looks creamy.
And when you make like mayos and stuff,
Yeah.
so you're mixing eggs and oil together
Okay.
to make a sauce. So that's emulsification.
Ah.
Yeah. So they're looking pretty
and
nice.
you need to start with a cold pan.
Cold
Otherwise it
pan.
doesn't work.
If you have too hot a pan, the butter will just burn
Right.
when you chuck the butter in
Okay.
to mix in with the oil.
Okay.
Beautiful. Garlic oil. Okay. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Connor. Cheers, mate. All right, great.
Beautiful. Got to find that start button again, though. That's
Nah, it's all good. So what we're going to do is now we're gonna strain off these gnocchis.
yeah.
So I'm going to turn this off. And Chris, if you wouldn't mind just scoop. Oh, I'll do it actually. I'll do it. It's all good.
Okay.
I'll get you to scoop them out of the cold ice if that's
Okay.
all right. Strain off as much hot water as you can, and boom, straight in the ice to chill down. Because if you have a look, these are a great consistency, good weight. You know, nice feel. They're very hot, so
Yeah,
very hot.
I'll try these on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel nice and spongy. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of-
And the thing is, you'll think when you break one open that it's not cooked, but as soon as you get them in the pan and finish them off in the oil and butter, they start to swell up and fully cook out. So don't stress about that. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's a
not-
lot.
It's not finished, is it?
No, not really.
At
No.
this stage, until
That's
you-
right.
You've done the frying bit.
Yeah. Cool. So we got all those.
Beautiful.
One more in there. One little nugget. Cool. So maybe we can just put this one around. So Chris, I'll lend you this if you want to
Okay.
scoop them out with that.
Right.
And I've got a little tray for you as well.
Okay.
you can put them in to kind of dry off. So you can have a tray with paper towel, or you get a colander if your ice is all melted. We don't have a sink in here, so we're just going paper towel and tray. But colander is probably the best way to go.
All right, so I've got to get rid of the ice.
Oh, you can just tip them in there.
Oh,
And
it
just,
doesn't matter?
Yeah, just pick the ice from the thing if you want. Beautiful. So I'm going to start by colouring off these gnocchis. How did I do this last time? There you go. Got it.
Yeah, so
Cool.
you don't want to
So I've got a little bit of oil.
So you don't want to put
Do you wanna have a
excess
look?
water in, right? Because
Oh,
otherwise
it's
you're gonna,
okay.
it's going to splatter and stuff.
No, yeah. If you put
It's not
excess
gonna
oil,
fry. It's
if
not
you
gonna
put
fry.
water in here, it's going to pop all over your face. So you don't want that.
And
So we've
you
got
want
a.
them to be frying, don't you?
Yeah, you want them to be frying, you don't want them to be stewing, and you don't want them to be burning. So you want it at the right heat, which is a medium setting. So I'm just mixing in this butter. Just want to have a look, Jade. I'm just constantly stirring this butter in. So if you don't stir the butter in, it'll just split, and you'll just end up with a split oil.
Oil and milk solid.
Yeah, which is not very nice. So just waiting for that to heat up.
It's easy with my hands.
Easy with your hands?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the same thing, guys. If you find something else is easier for you to do besides the technique we've showed you, then just go for it. You know, like you don't have to stick to the technique that is on the table. So, all right, cool as. Might crank that up a little bit. So still waiting for this pan. Sorry, guys. Taking its time.
Very beefy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's annoying. Well, if you lift it off this induction, it beeps.
Yeah. Oh wow, they do feel like quite tough.
Yeah.
They feel really tough.
Yeah.
And that's not what you would get with a potato gnocchi.
No, not at all. You'd get a firm, dense piece of gnocchi, you know. All right. So I've got my butter and oil going. It's nice and foamy. I'm going to start adding my little gnocchis.
Oh.
That's enough now. And if you've got any gnocchis spare, it's quite alright to put them in a takeaway and freeze them down, and they're totally fine for later on. You know, you just pull them out of the freezer, defrost them.
Freeze them at this
Yeah,
stage,
yeah.
and then you can finish them off in the pan.
Yeah, 100%. So you can
Beautiful.
freeze them after the blanch phase,
Yeah.
and then later on just pull them out and fry them up like this.
Okay.
We've got a question? Move that oil. There you go. But yeah, so we've got them going in the pan here. I'm going to actually crank it up a little bit more just so we can get a bit of colour on there a bit more quicker. And I don't know if you've got a little mini palette knife, but I do. So I like to take my time and kind of flip each one so that they all have a nice bit of colour on them. So let's find one with some colour.
So that's getting it.
Yeah, a little
starting,
bit.
Starting.
Another 10 seconds. Or maybe while we wait, we can chop some of these cucamelons into our sauce, eh? Yeah. So I gave you some cucamelons and also a little bag of garnish as well. So the garnish should have baby kale, some
Can I
beautiful.
try it?
Yeah, 100%. Go for it. So your little mixed bag had some little baby kales in there, little baby purple kale, and just some really nice fresh greens from down at Mobilia Farms in Stanthorpe. So
Do you want to have a look in there? So it's just like a little baby cucumber. Looks like a melon.
tastes like a cucumber.
A miniature melon. Like a cucumber.
So I'm just going to give these a good flip. And then some have got a bit of colour, so I'm just going to go through and flip the rest over. Shouldn't take me too long at all. But if you can see, there's some nice crispy colour on there. And that's also from the cheese. Getting some nice caramelisation on there as well. And crisping up. Yeah, looking nice, eh? And like I said, guys, if you've got some spare Parmesan cheese at home, that'll be a great garnish for these when you've got the sauce on them. but if you're on a low-fat diet, skip it.
Haha.
Oh, that's not
As
me.
if.
So yeah, if you can see, some of those have some
Beautiful.
nice colour on them. Alright, great. And remember, watch your fingers if you're going to go in like that. It's bloody hot.
And you've got chef fingers.
Chef fingers, yeah. Cool, so they're looking pretty good. And we're just going to toss the sauce back in there. Oops.
Oh,
Look at that.
looks beautiful.
That looks bloody great. We didn't get a plate.
Yum,
Dave, do you
delicious.
mind grabbing a plate for us, mate? We haven't bloody found a plate for this thing to put on, so make sure you guys have got your plates ready. So yeah, that's good to
Do
go.
you want to cut these up?
Have you cut any up?
No.
Oh, I thought you were cutting some up.
Oh.
Oh, she was just eating them.
Yeah.
So we're,
What do I do? Just cut them in half?
yeah, just go down or
No?
down the middle, down lengthways.
Lengthways? Looks prettier.
And guys, if you feel like you need to add some more salt and pepper to your sauce, go for it. But this is what ours looks like. If you want to come in, Jade, have a quick look. So that's what ours is
It's
looking
actually
like.
Quite thick, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like it's a thick,
it's a chunky sauce, you know.
chunky, hearty,
Nice, fresh.
fresh produce. Yum.
Cool, so we got some
Can't really go
cucamelons
wrong,
there.
really, can you? When you've
No.
got fresh produce.
That's
you
it.
can't
As
really
and as fresh as you get from Mobilia, it's bloody great. So yeah, actually, that's a bloody nicer plate. Is that up? Thanks, Dave. Cheers. Cool. So let's plate up. So we've got our gnocchi, we've got our sauce, and we've got some garnish, nice fresh cucamelons, and we're going to chuck on those nice fresh leaves that I sent to you guys earlier today. So look at that, bloody hell.
Oh,
That's enough for two.
you just pile it up and we'll all
I
share
just
from
piled
the
it up,
same
yeah.
bowl.
So here you go, guys, some nice fresh cucamelons on there. And if you got some Parmesan cheese, go for it. And where is our
Garnish
leaves?
leaves.
Yep. And yeah, guys, like I said, if you want some Parmesan cheese on there, go for it. But there's a good whack of cheese in those gnocchis. So here we have our nice, fresh, beautiful, homemade ricotta gnocchis / nudis in Italian. So from all of us at City Winery, just want to say thank you, and please stay tuned for next week as we will be doing a Middle Eastern style beef tartare with a yogurt flatbread. And that'll be with me as well, Adam Smart. So thank you again for joining us this evening, and if you've got any questions, send them through to City Winery and we're happy to answer them all. So from all of us, me and Chris, thank you very much and have a bloody good night. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.